So let's start from Central Florida and blossom to the whole state to make things happen in Central Florida. And the guy that's making things happen in Central Florida through transportation is my great boss, Ananth Prasad, and I would like him to come to the podium.
Thank you, Naran. Good morning, and thank you all for attending this great event. Last time we were here with Secretary LaHood, Congressman Mica, it was really hot and sweltering, and today we got a break in the weather. It's nice and beautiful. Really, I echo what Naran mentioned. Your grassroots support for this critical project is what's making this project a reality for the citizens and the businesses in Central Florida. Working together as partners, we're creating jobs, growing our economy, but more so providing transportation options to the folks who live, work, and play in Central Florida. Your support and commitment demonstrated here today, as so many people, will be the key as the project moves forward to provide SunRail commuter rail services in Central Florida. And I'm committed, and I'm told this to Naran, that the trains will be running and revenue service will begin by May 2014. And that's our commitment. Thank you. Today's events mark just not the beginning of the construction, but the beginning of a new chapter in our transportation in Orlando and Central Florida. As you know, we put a lot of focus in Central Florida, not only just Central Florida, but trying to make infrastructure improvements, investments in infrastructure. Governor Scott's very focused on trying to make sure we have the state-of-the-art infrastructure to support private sector in creating jobs. And I'm pleased to say that with most of our all contracts let for the first phase of Central Florida commuter rail, we're still within a budget and on time. And but as we get the construction going, our next challenge begins. Our next big challenge is going to ensure that SunRail's success by reaching out to the community, reaching out to the business leaders, reaching out to the developments, and convincing the people who live, work, play in the area to use SunRail. Whether they're going to the Magic game, whether they're going to downtown, eventually when they're going to the attractions, we need to create an environment and all the supporting pieces to facilitate. And like I mentioned when I went last year around before Governor and I made the decision, it's very important that this train has to be successful for the future of Florida. So as we all celebrate today and the hard work begins and beginning the construction to May 2014 when the trains start, let's take our time and invest and trying to make sure we commit ourselves to ride SunRail. I was actually saying to Naran that in 2014 we may have an internal policy the department folks would have to take the train to come to Orlando rather than driving. So, But we all have to lead. We have, we can talk all we want, but we got to show leadership by following it ourselves, and we need to do that. Work with our community, business development teams as they begin building a ridership base. Invest in development around the station to attract more drivers, more riders, and provide the kind of amenities that will benefit the region as a whole. Think about this moment. In just 2 years, SunRail trains are expected to start rolling down these tracks right next to us, and there will be a station right here where you can board the train. How about that? 2 years from now. It's unbelievable. And although 2 years seems a long time, it'll happen before you know it. It'll happen before you know it, and pretty soon you'll see a lot of activity with construction going on. So I look forward to working with all of you to ensure that SunRail realizes all of the promise and the potential that we're here today to celebrate. At this time, I would also want to take, this whole project would not have been possible with the incredible work with our local, state, and federal partners, and of course, the private sector partners. I'm really excited here to introduce one of the key partners. Of course, they come with a check, which is always good, which is Dr. Yvette Taylor. She joined the United States Department of Transportation Federal Transit Administration in October 2005 as the Regional Administrator for Region 4. She's currently responsible for administrating federal funding, it's important for this project, to support the variety of locally planned, constructed, and operated public transportation systems throughout the southeastern United States. Dr. Taylor has been a wonderful mentor to the Florida Department of Transportation in guiding this project through the complicated federal funding qualification process. So we needed their support, and she's been there all along the way with many starts and stops and hung with us to realize the kind of potential we see.
Well, thank you, Corrine, and she is indeed my partner. You know, she chaired the rail subcommittee for the 4 years prior. You know, sometimes the good Lord creates odd fellow relationships where different, but we have been a great tag team, and as Corrine said, we couldn't have done it without the people. Actually, all the people in these first 2 rows should really be up on the stage, because you're the folks that made this happen. You know, we'll be back in Washington stirring things up on Tuesday, but when we come home, we ignite you know, a little fire, and you all have actually made today happen. What's really neat about today, Corrine and I have you know, we have the same interests. We've got a great country. We're blessed with a wonderful community, an incredible state, but we've been hurting. A lot of people have been hurting. I get a call, people losing their homes, people who just are having a difficult time. The highest unemployment, well, first of all, Florida is over 10%. We have some 14% in this Central Florida region, but I'm telling you, Dick, I don't want any more pictures. Get out of there. But again, on a very serious note, there are a lot of folks that don't have jobs. Everybody talks about jobs. We go back and that's all they talk about. We're doing it. Today we are actually putting people to work. Now do the math. Where's Buddy? Buddy, over $1 billion in construction just along the route has already been announced. This project is $600 million. There, and I have extensive notes here, but you know, it's 25 to 30,000 jobs, right, Corrine?
That's correct.
Per $1 billion in a project like this. So we're talking 10 to 15,000 people a year for the next 4 years will have a job and an income. And finally, it's fitting that we're here in Altamont. I see Pat, the mayor, and others. 30 years ago, and I was reminded some of the history of this project. Some of the state legislators are here. I see some really old ones. I saw Bobby Hadaway getting much older. But we had a rail commission set up by the legislature. That dissolved. Then we had Lynx take it over. Then we had the state of Florida. So this has been 3 decades in the making, and so many people have helped make it happen. So I thank you, each and every one of you, for the part you've had. And you're going to make a difference in how people get around our community and in the future. And this is just the beginning link, because we will have other transportation links, as Corrine pointed out. Once you start this, it's just the beginning of a regional and state transportation system. So thanks for coming. Thanks for sticking with us. And we want to go far beyond today, and we can make it happen, everybody working together like we've done. If we can do it, damn, anybody can do it.